Warning, spoilers are present in this podcast.
Third World Cinema Club.
Welcome to Third World Cinema Club. I'm John Tawasil from Present Confusion.
Hi, I'm Princess Kinok of Film Police Reviews.
Hi, I'm Jim of Jimmy Liculat Iba Pa.
And I'm Tristan of Rapper and Other Things.
Ang cute nung turo-turo eh, no?
Hindi, sa mga audio people, ayan po, natuturuan po kami kung sino susunod. Sa tagal lang hindi namin to ginawa, nakalimutan na namin yung order. Joke lang.
We forgot the flow. I'll go.
So, today we'll be talking about a series that debuted as a series, then became a film, then became a series again. No, this is Eric Matis.
Evangelion.
Evangelion.
The rebuild of Evangelion.
This is an episode within an episode within an episode. Ganon.
Ayun. So, this is Eric Matis on the Job 2, on the Job 2, The Missing 8, which is part of a larger, series on HBO Go with the original On the Job. So, I guess we'll be talking shortly about this series. So, the first 2 episodes of this series constitute basically the first film, or On the Job is a 2013 film starring Joel Torre, Piolo Pascual, and others. It's a large ensemble cast about this
A pre-Julia Gerald Anderson.
pre-Julia Gerald Anderson. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God!
For season 5 na ba tayo, guys? Sa season 5 namin, we decided to finally dip into
Showbiz.
territory.
Let's get back to that later.
Si Julia was grade 5.
Oh my God.
Oh my God!
Taki na, di ba?
I'm kidding. 2013. Ilan taon ba si Julia?
Ilan taon na ba si Julia Barreto?
Mirabella na siya, di ba? May TV show na siya dati. Oh, di ba Mirabella?
No, high school.
Oo, parang high school nga.
High school naman. 24 siya ngayon. So, 7 years ago, he was 17. Barely. Ayoko yung kompleto yung spread. Pero anyway, yun. Barely. Anyway.
Barely in the scene.
Barely in the scene. In the showbiz scene. Yan.
Yeah.
Or speaking of, umaarte pa ba talaga naging showbiz na yun. Umaarte pa ba si what's her name? Kapatid ni Vina Morales. Si Shaina Magdayaw.
Actually,
Umaarte
good
pa
thing
ba
that you
siya?
mentioned. I haven't seen her for quite some
I
time.
haven't seen her since yung Love Diaz eh. The Love Diaz.
Napanood ko
yung tagpuan, di ba? Siya yung last.
Ay, oo
Tagpuan.
nga.
Saka tagpuan.
Tagpuan.
MMFF.
Yeah, so last year. Okay.
Last
Huli
Noted.
ko siya nakita sa MMK like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. So, active pa rin siya.
It's good to know.
Good to know.
Kapamilya strong pa rin siya.
Kasi, ayan.
Yes.
We're
Buti
off to a
wala si
great start.
Manny.
Oo nga.
Kasi kung si Manny, baka...
Sabi daw ni
Birthday,
Manny Jim,
Manny.
pag i-introduce kita as Urian nominated creative consultant Jim Paranal. Dapat
Hindi po ako ang nominated, sorry, Ann. It's Direct J. Altarejo.
by the transitive
Nagkaroon lang
property, nominated ka na rin. Kasi nandun ka sa creative process ng film. Charot.
Thank you for the trust, Direct J.
Thank you. Ayun. So, it's about, so On the Job, the original one, is about this guy who is a prisoner who is, periodically taken out by unscrupulous people to conduct political or otherwise non-political assassinations. So, in the rest of the film is the police and whatever trying to figure out what the hell is happening. So yun, no? On the Job is the first time I watched this, parang it's really a magical feeling. Ganun. Na-enjoy ko siya talaga. It's a very steeped in genre. Very
Groundbreaking siya eh. Parang
Yeah.
at its time, it's like, I think even before, what you call this? Even before General Luna, this was the one you can say it's a big budgeted film, but like dipping into more auteur sensibilities, di ba?
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Oo.
Mm.
So, yeah, it's a neo-noir na may gangster elements. But the gangsters are politicians.
Mhm.
Every system in this film, the law enforcement system, the political system, whatever, they're all steeped in corruption from the ground up. And although parang the good guys are the exception, they're trying to fix the system pero sira talaga siya.
Yes.
Sirang-sira talaga siya at wala kang parang there's this feeling of wala kang magagawa talaga. And this film is a pairing with Eric Mati and his wife, no? Michiko Yamamoto, who screen wrote this film and the sequel as well, no?
Wife ba talaga niya, Ses? Si Michiko? Baka,
partner,
tama.
screenwriting partner.
Baka
O baka mamaya
partner.
tayo.
Paano tayo?
Life partner yun.
Okay.
Anak sila.
Common law wife.
Baka mamaya maano tayo.
Papasok lang pag chismis.
Baka makancel tayo.
For
We
confidence.
apologize for misconstruing.
Anyway, it's a romantic partner. That's
Romantic partner.
that's
Yes.
Yes.
Yun, no? What are your guys' thoughts about OTJ? And
the first film or
the first film
no.
or the first 2 episodes of the series, basically.
Para feeling ko for me it still holds up. Like siguro kasi I haven't seen it for quite some time. Like I remember watching it for film school 2016, so it's like a good amount of time na rin has passed. So and ano pa siya, it still holds up till this day. It's like the themes are even I would say even more relevant
Yes.
pa nga eh. Kasi like now that you watch it, it's like you can't like take it as parang existing in a vacuum eh. It calls to mind the amount of blatant corruption. Kasi like siguro in the past you could still say na okay, not everyone is as yung grabing chutzpah to to show what their to show their parang gangster tendencies in the government ganyan. Pero right now like you can say na okay, these are the current politicians that we're seeing, but the ones that they're depicting, it's not hindi siya parang one throw away from reality, parang it is reality. Kasi dati pa may nandun pa yung parang veneer na okay, this is possibly what they're doing underneath it all, or parang okay, we know na in the provinces maybe this is how the government operates. Para siya parang may pa siya may parang level pa siya of I wouldn't call it suspension of disbelief kasi I don't want to be naive naman in saying na hindi siya makatotohanan before, pero it's like you can still act like it's still removed from the current reality. but now watching it given our current purview of the world, mas mas striking na siya eh.
Yeah. Yung hindi na underbelly belly na.
Yeah, there we go. Hindi na siya underbelly.
It's a belly. Parang belly ng natin. All
parts, siya? Pecho.
Para sabi pang makinasal. Makinasal? Oh my God.
Makinasal.
Lahat ng parts. Kung papili ka, pecho pack. Thigh part, every wing.
Litaw na. And yun lang. Talagang alam mong genre fan talaga si Eric Mati kasi talagang binalutan niya talagang very stylish yung execution.
Yes.
The music is the music for the original film, the first 2 episodes are impeccable, no? It's just well made all around.
Parang everything still holds up, like parang in all levels. Even nga yung acting for me parang not a fan of like Gerald, pero here parang bagay siya dun sa ano eh.
Decent yung role niya. Decent.
Oo.
Yung performance niya dito.
Everyone actually. Siguro ang ano lang, ang unconvincing lang for me dun si Don Balagot. Yung girlfriend ni Gerald who had like 3 scenes. Pero the rest, everything holds up. Yeah.
Ayun. As ikaw, as someone who's worked under Direk,
There.
Ano?
Ayan na.
what
It's
are your
really
thoughts?
Grabe.
Ayan na
As
po.
in,
If you were
ay,
to listen, anong sasabihin mo?
Kung siya'y nakikinig ngayon, ano ang sasabihin mo?
Tapos pasok yung yung ganun no. Hindi, alam nyo, sobrang sa ating apat yata, ako yung medyo parang lagi nagba-vouch for Direk. Parang di, paano natin to kasi nga, ako lang yata yung nag-iisang fan ng Lastic Man.
Okay na
Ano na
Plastic
to?
Man, to be fair.
Okay, yun. So anyways, ayun nga, parang mas lalo kong natuwa sa kanya kasi he's an actor-director din. Kasi nga di ba nag-start siya sa pag-train ng actors. Kaya siguro I agree na I never liked Gerald's half-baked acting. Pero dito hindi siya half-baked. Kahit na sobrang linis niya as a prisoner, gano'n.
Bagay siya sa hindi bagay siya sa role. At saka I think sa Prisoner naman, di ba tao sa si Tisoy? So parang ito work rin naman na parang may mga ganun naman may mga half.
Oo. So, since we're talking about the first film, di ba parang nga siya, it started off as a story from one of their drivers, ganyan. Tapos, meron kasi siyang si Direk, meron siya talagang certain passion. Parang pag nakuha mo yung attention niya in a certain level, he's never gonna stop. So, yun yung maganda sa OTJ 1 and 2. Kasi talagang everyday talaga, parang we're talking about upstream and then later, balik ka sa OTJ. They keep developing it. Na parang ako, tatanong ko, magkakaroon OTJ 3? Hindi, yung yung 1 tsaka 2. Tapos na yung 1 pero kasi ganito. Okay. Gano'n, kasi nga,
I would watch it to be clear lang.
Oo. Kung may 3 pa, no?
Siguro siguro spoiler na rin to like what I'll say later. not a spoiler to the film, pero like to my thoughts about OTJ2. I think he's found a way, he's found a world na he can really populate with stories. Parang The Wire or anyway.
Pero
go ahead, Ses.
Ayun, go. Sige, tuloy mo.
Kaya yun ang maganda na I think if there are some aspiring filmmakers listening right now, parang don't feel too pressured on yourself to like finish something in 1 week. Kasi they've developed it for years.
Nice, coming from Ses,
Dinevelop talaga nila for years.
Ses,
pero Ma'am Ses, paano po yun pag hinahabol ko yung deadline sa festival?
Pinapipaste ko sa mga tinatanong natin. What's your advice?
Pero alam mo, sana matapos if Direct's trying to build this world, sana matapos niya kasi nalungkot ako nung natatandaan niyo yung Tik-Tik, di ba? That's one Girls. Ang ganda may world building din yun eh. It's very, alam mo yun, may pagka-fleshed out din siya. Pero unfortunately, after the second one, hindi nakagawa ng bago. Sayang. Parang
gusto ko yan, Gagamboy Spider-Verse.
Diba?
Yun ay flesh out.
Nag-cameo sa On the Job si Gagamboy no?
Siya pala makakapagtigil ng
sinuntok niyang bigla siyang lumitaw, sinuntok niya si Leo Martinez.
Di ba may parang spoiler, may clouds dun sa dulo na nagpupulog. Nakikita mo siya
Gagamboy has will return in On the Job 3.
Imbes na building sa puno sa naglalakson.
Gagamboy, the spider web of corruption.
Tsaka yun, I guess, it's very obvious. Kahit siya, aminado rin siya na he really, really works well kapag si Michiko yung writer niya.
Oo, pansin ko yun.
Aminado rin naman siya.
In my experience, some of his best yung recent films are yung tandem nila. So, hindi lang On the Job, yung Honor Thy Father.
Honor Thy Father.
Pasyam ba siya rin? Hindi.
Alam
ko pasyamba siya rin. Di ba may isa pa before On the Job? I can't remember.
Oo nga meron sila together. I'm not sure which one.
Oh.
Pasyam nga ata.
Parang para sa akin, yung hindi lang na si Michiko nagsulat na the best niya is yung Arrival. Yung short film.
Yung may
Arrival.
aliens, yun ba yun?
Hindi.
Yung mga
Hindi.
Si Bernard
Yes.
Yung
Eric Mati.
Amy
Ano?
Adams?
Eric
Hindi.
Marsden.
Meron siya. Yung ang writer niya is yung usual niya na nagsulat ng ano.
Pa-short
Yan,
film ba to?
basta.
Short film to, Seth.
Sige.
The Arrival, oo.
The
Yung si Dwight
Arrival.
Gaston. The Arrival.
Dwight
Yan,
Gaston.
gusto ko yun.
Wait, familiar to. The Arrival film.
Yung bookkeeper siya, si Dwight Gaston. Nasa commercial ng Nizip. Nizip to, basta ganun.
Kasi si Dwight Gaston, naalala ko siya in Pedro Pinduco din eh.
Si ano to,
Ayun.
this is 2009 film. Yeah.
Ito. Teka lang, yan. Basta, sorry, blurred. Yan siya. Lumalabas ba yung mukha niya?
Hindi.
Ayan, nakita ko na.
Okay.
Ayan.
Okay.
Sana nakikita rin ng natin, ng listeners natin.
Basta mukha ng tao yun.
Guys, Dwight
Si, sa Arrival, nandun si Dolly De Leon na nandito rin sa On the Job 2, di ba?
Yes.
Pero-
Pero, yung nagustuhan kong hindi si Michiko yung nagsulat. The rest, okay lang naman.
Yeah,
Ayaw kasi.
I would go actually and say talaga that his best works are those where he collaborated with Michiko. Yeah, kasi even Honor Thy Father, which I think I'm in the minority na I would call it even better pa than
I
On the
agree.
Job.
Pareho tayo, Tristan. I think
Mm.
Honor Thy Father is one of his best films.
Oo, parang I don't get the yung bash ng iba.
And I don't think
Meron ba?
naman I don't think naman binabash siya, pero
Bash, pero parang
people
they don't think it's
As good.
they still think OTJ is superior. Pero ako din,
They-
sobrang ewan ko, parang grabe yung ending for me,
hindi feel ko
Ang ganda ng
expectations kasi.
over.
Yun, yeah, the bleakness. I think the expectation kasi they wanted something na as high impact, pero it was more subdued. So,
Yes.
ako masusko yung parang ganun, yung parang seething
Same.
anger rather than yung ano.
Galit na galit yung pelikulang yun.
Yes.
I made a tweet back in 2015 na sinabi ko, it's one of the best MMFF movies in the past like 30 years. And I will
Yun yung retweet niya,
die
di
on that
ba?
hill. I will die
Retweet
on
niya
that hill.
yan, Angelica Panganiban.
In-retweet ni Angelica Panganiban. I will die on
Naalala
that
ko.
hill.
Mag-jowa pa sila ni
Yeah. Ayan,
Ni
ayan naman
John Lloyd
tayo.
Montano.
We're going back to
Showbiz
showbiz.
na naman tayo. Let's get back to that later.
Oo, tsaka kasi 'di ba nung na-interview natin siya dati, mahilig talaga siya maglagay ng parang thesis of religion sa films niya. Parang dito niya na-execute ng tama. Sorry, seclusion.
Actually.
Di ba?
Sorry.
Anyways,
Oo. Ay, ano ba? Ako pa.
si
O,
Jim,
Jim,
si Jim.
ikaw.
Sorry na. Regarding On the Job 1, kasi napanood ko siya 2014. Ganun. So, medyo fresh pa. And during 2013, madaming magagandang pelikula. Diba? Kasi yung 2013, 2016, 2018, yan yung years na considered as parang golden age.
Gold of the gold.
Ganun eh. So, talaga nag-stand out si On the Job. And ang nagustuhan ko pa dito, of course, the performance of Joel Torre, and deserving siya dun sa Gawad Urian niya as Tatang. And maganda yung na-build na relationship ng character niya with Gerald Anderson, kasi si Gerald Anderson yung protege niya dyan eh.
Galingan ni Joel Torre. You just have to second that.
Yes. Kasi parang kung ibang actor din yung gaganap, parang hindi mo maiisip na makakaya. Si Joel Torre kasi, alam mo yung niya, yung capability niya as an actor to brought to life yung character ni Tatang. Ayun. And yun nga, I agree, stylish yung film, and the term Hollywoodized, ganun. From the neo-noir style nung film. And ano bang nagustuhan ko dito sa On the Job? It's a political thriller na talagang na relevant. And until now that I saw it on the first 2 episodes ng On the Job. And I agree with Tristan. It still holds up. Ganun. So yun lang muna.
Ayun. So, yun no. Yeah, Ses, confirm ko lang that the first 2 episodes don't have any extra footage na
I
or
think
Alam mo, may tanong rin ako doon.
oo.
Kasi
konti. I'm not sure kasi ang naalala ko, yung sa umpisa, hindi siya ganun ka-detailed. Yun lang yung naalala ko.
when I was watching, I was comparing it with the synopsis on Wikipedia. So, parang ewan ko lang if syempre I didn't have the time to actually check yung on the job one. Pero parang sa ending iba yung nakalagay sa write-up versus sa film. So remind me na lang kasi parang lumalabas dun sa synopsis ang ni-record ni Piolo Pascual na conversation ay yung trineten siya ni pangalan na to? Trineten siya ni Malik Manaog.
Malik Manaog.
Ikaw gusto mo ng Malik Manaog. There we go, Pacheco. Ni Leo Martinez, di ba? So, nung trineten siya. Pero parang dun sa longer cut, ang ni-record niya ay when he dropped si Joey
Yes,
Nalito na. Joey Marquez. Sorry, nagano Leo Martinez, Joey Marquez. Nung he dropped Joey Marquez and then basically nag-splok siya kay Leo Martinez and Michael De Mesa. So I'm just trying to, I'm not saying this to like to parang push the point. Pero like ano ba? Nag-iba ba siya? It was the conversation that was taped ba the confession or the under the table talks all together? Again, I'm just basing this sa Wikipedia. Baka natatandaan nyo. How did things
kasi ang
end?
naalala ko, nawala dun sa film. Kasi twice namin siya pinanood ni Queen. Hindi ganun kahaba yung umpisa. Like, di ba sobrang detailed na nagtiting. Basta yun. Yun ang naalala ko na parang, okay, mas na-feel ko yung talagang for hire sila, ganyan. Parang apprentice and the master, parang ganyan. Tsaka, yung in-approach na sila ni Piolo, parang wala yun dun sa una. Yung nagpunta si Piolo sa
Interesting.
parang wala
Nung
yun.
nag-meet sila, dun sa may
Pinuntahan niya sa spa.
Tito Pimentel ba yan?
Hindi. Yun, wala yun, yung kay Lito Pimentel.
Wala ba yun? Nandun yun.
Parang nandun yun.
Nandun yun.
Hindi, ibig ko sabihin, yung sa spa, yun yung in-approach na yung tatay niya, father-in-law niya to be, tsaka si Leo Martinez. Parang wala, hindi yun ganun kahaba.
May ba? May legal way ba to watch on the job the film right now?
Actually, tatanong ko sana sa inyo.
Para ma-compare natin. Hirap Hirap i-compare. Wala ko sa upstream.
Wala
Anyway, yeah. Moving forward.
Ayan. Any final thoughts about On the Job? On the Job 1 or the first 2 episodes of this new HBO series?
Di ba to recall, ang On the Job was not commercially successful but critically acclaimed.
Wasn't it ba?
Hindi siya kumita sa box office.
Talaga?
When I watched it sa sinehan noong 2013, parang 3 lang kami sa sinehan.
Talaga?
Yeah. Kami din
Ako, may memories my memories are jaded. Or colored. Kasi inisip ko, jaded tuloy mali. Ang natatandaan ko, akala ko, it did well for a Star Cinema film, pero hindi ba?
Hindi.
Kasi, naalala ko rin, konti lang kami nanood. Pero naging siya, critically acclaimed. So, nung naging critically acclaimed, saka lang siya pinanood ng mga tao.
Interesting.
Ang sabi kasi na pirata siya. Doon na nagkaroon na yung mga tao ng curiosity to watch On the Job.
But still holds up.
Pero naging siya, patok siya overseas kasi may mga DVD copies nun.
Yeah, it was released overseas. May nag-pick up na international distributor and then it exploded.
Sabi nga, time is the ultimate truth teller. Not related to
Ay, naman tayo.
Pero kita mo na how through the years On the Job like secured its space sa Philippine cinema. It carved out its its current standing. Yeah, anyway.
So yun, guys, watch OTJ. You really have to watch it
Yeah.
kasi malo-lost kayo dun. I think, yun pa pala, kudos to Jay Halili, who's the editor. Kasi I think it's difficult to edit an Eric Mati film.
Yeah.
Kasi it's really always very long.
Siya,
So,
I like how it was edited na naging ano siya. I would argue pa nga na mas naging parang series yung pagka-cut
Feel.
doon sa on the job first two.
Mm.
Kasi ano siya it's like it ends at a logical standpoint na okay, ano to?
Parang dito
episode
tayo
1 done.
matatapos.
Oo.
Yes.
Oo, na hindi mo napansin na oo nga no, pwede mo yung film, pwede mo siyang into like si Tatang, si ano.
By the way, tama. Sabi nga ni Princess, no, the yung each episode has a focus on a certain character. So episode 1 si Joel Torre, yung character niya. Episode 2 yung kay Piolo.
Joey Marquez.
Joey Marquez.
Ay, kay Joey Marquez pala.
Acosta.
Yes, si Acosta.
Tall, dark, and handsome naman sila parehas.
And then si episode 3 na is si Arnel, which is later. Tsaka gusto ko yung nagustuhan ko yung pinhood na
Circle.
Oo.
Yes.
Ganun. Cute. Sabi ko, ang galing.
Very classic.
Oo, very classic. And yung music, by the way.
Ay,
Music, grabe. Very noir yung
Yes.
Jazzy.
Good taste. Okay.
Ayun. So, let's move on to the next 7.
Wait guys, sorry. Lipat lang ako sa
Sige.
laptop. Sorry.
Sige lang. Magsasalitaan na lang kami in your absence.
Okay.
Ay,
Sige,
wait
fast
lang.
lang.
Ay, Mark? Diyan, pakat na
Mag-video
lang
ka na lang. Sige. Mag-video ka na lang, Tristan, pag nakaano ka na.
Okay, sige. Lipat lang ako.
Parang habang lumilipas,
Bye.
treat na natin to as like, okay, next episode.
Oo.
So, let's go to the next segment. This one is about On the Job 2, The Missing 8, no? And this constitutes the last 4 episodes of the series. So, episode 3 to 6. No? This a movie or a theatrical version was released in the Venice Film Festival, and because of that, due to that, the lead actor of this movie, si John Arcilla, he won the Volpi Cup for best male performance, which is a first and one of only, I think, 3 Asians. Tama ba ako? One of very few Asians to win this award, this very prestigious award.
Yes.
Originally, it was conceptualized as a series, di ba? A web series. Pero
Sa Signal pa ata, no? Tama. Signal
parang
pa.
ganun eh. And then, pero parang palaki siya ng palaki. And then when they tried to release it as a feature film, but, COVID-19 attacked. And nagsarado lahat ng sinihan. So they went back and tried to make it again a streaming series. So that's why it works well as a 2-hour plus movie, and it also works very well as a series.
3 hours yata ang film, John.
3 hours
Tama
pa
ba?
mahigit.
3 hours and
Something
15
plus change.
or something.
So talagang epic siya, no? It's ako first impressions, this is a non-spoiler part of the video. Later in the video, we'll be talking about spoilers and we'll tell you when, no?
Video or audio?
Secret. This it's really yun, again, it's very steeped in genre, but hindi siya kasing neo-noir no first film, aka yung first 2 episodes. Mas nag-lean siya into the political thriller aspect of it. And because this film is about John Arcilla's character, siya yung mga tipong bombastic AM radio DJs, mga bombo radyo, mga ganun eh.
May babanggitin sana ako na he's very, parang siyang si
Wag na. Ano tayo dyan?
Blip yan, blip. Char.
yung mga pumipila sa may Ortigas banda. Alam mo yun, Jim?
So he's in a small town radio operator. He's kumbaga in this small town, it's ruled by this mayor who's probably been there for a long time kasi para may dynasty sila doon.
A mayor na mahilig sa sa checkered.
Mahilig sa checkered. Mahilig siya. Old guy, mahilig sa checkered.
Ikaw ba
Played by
yung
Dante Rivera.
inspiration?
Anyway, one day, the colleagues from his colleagues from the newspaper he works in, there are 8 of them, including the child of the owner. All disappear. They're called the missing 8. And John Arcelia's character tries to investigate what the hell happened. And uncovers a whole lot of shit. A whole lot of things. So, yun, it's a really engrossing film, no? Para mahuhook ka.
Yes.
And in a series format, it works even better.
Yes.
The performances are excellent, especially all around magaling. Eric Mati and Michiko Yamamoto, they've created these very interesting characters. Kahit na yung di ba may binanggit ako earlier, si Dolly De Leon was in this film. She's a political operative.
Minister of Truth.
Minister of Truth eh. Political operative siya na lagi naka-tracksuit, tas very, mo yun, na-flesh out nila yung characters. Although, di ba, very lang sila, very side lang sila. Like, there are a lot of different weird and funky personalities na you get to see only a few minutes in the episode or a few episodes, like yung character ni Vandolph.
Yeah.
Or yung si Timmy Harn. Mga preso yan na they function like yung si Tatang in On the Job 1. So they fulfill that. And yun nga, it's a very one very particular thing I noticed din sa reviews nito sa Venezia, ganun. Yung reviews nito sa Venice, they really like the musical montages. And I think Erwin Romulo is responsible for the soundtracking of this. And
ang niya ang matawang term doon, idiosyncratic.
Oo, ang ganda ng ang ganda ng juxtaposition niya of these parang show tunes, yung mga very yung mga mga kinakanta mo sa karaoke sa probinsya, ganon. Na
parang mix siya of Yoyo Villame.
Yes.
Of mga folksy
songs
na ginagamit parang yun sa Honor Day Father na mga covers of like mga asin, and I don't know if may asin song talaga, pero like the songs na you hear na kinakanta ng asin when they're driving political if may political message, and then yung parang juxtaposition of like yung Yoyo Villame, Frank Sinatra, na in a way kind of reminds you of Scorsese.
Yes.
Scorsese likes to
Tama.
background his his set pieces with show tunes.
Tsaka tama kasi sa OTJ you hear a lot of Madam, which is very Manileño, no? Pero dito na yun nga, parang pati nga yung Bella Ciao Matagalize, ganyan. Feeling mo maririnig mo siya sa jukebox somewhere or sa radyo somewhere sa probinsya.
Sa rally nga, naiso sa rally eh. Iba pang rally, iba pang videoke. Which oddly works. Yeah.
So, yun, Princess, without spoiling the film for now, what are your thoughts on The Job 2, The Missing
8? Ang ganda kasi 'di ba dati dun sa first na On the Job, ang mas nakikita lang natin na for hire is like 2 characters, which is si Gerald and si Tatang. And then dito na-amplify siya na parang buong, spoiler alert, buong truck, they're all for hire in a way na they have their own assignments ganyan. So it just goes to show na yung progression ng crime or ng point nila dun sa first film na diba Tatang kind of sets off in the sunset, not in a really lovely way, but it's like it's that ending is like, what it means is that, okay, there's more to come. So ito na yung more to come, na parang, okay, we're back again and we're not stopping. Or
Kasi,
perhaps in
on
the
the
words
job
of General Pacheco, na parang, okay, I'm not gonna
regularization.
stop. Mm-mm.
On the
So,
job
and then,
regularization. That's next. On the job
yeah.
promotion.
Oo, tapos parang from Manila hanggang sa provincial, nag-exist pa rin siya, ganyan. So yun, so the writing is so good. And kaya nga nasabi ko kanina, very perfect na sa Venezia siya nag-premiere because,
Yes.
it aged like fine wine. Ganyan.
Mm-mm.
Yan. And by the way, si John Arcilla, he's the first Southeast Asian actor to get the
Volpe
the
Cup.
Kopo Volpi. Yes. The first one was a Chinese siya eh. I think. So yan.
Toshiro
Yun.
Mifune,
So,
di ba? Nanalo rin ng Venice for Eugene.
si Shafu. Yan. Si Shafu ba? Tama. Yun. So
Toshiro
yun.
Mifune.
Ayun. So yun. So, in all the 4 episodes that you guys are gonna see on HBO, it's good that they got that kind of avenue to expand the plot lines. And I agree with the characters then na well written sila, each and every one of them. Behind the scenes, what I only know is that sobrang everyday talaga siyang dinidevelop, in-edit. Even the animation na parang alam ko
Not the
ayaw mo
biggest
to
fan.
stand.
I'll expound pag turn ko na.
Yes. So, ayun. Very interesting touch for me kasi yung animation part niya. And ayun nga, I was always wondering bakit they were all busy about the music. So when now that you get to see it, you understand na okay, importante nga na yung original ni Frank Sinatra yung makuha, or yung original na Delilah yung makuha, kasi imagine mo kung kinanta siya ng someone else, diba? Parang hindi siya, it loses its touch, ganyan. So yun. More later, I'd like to hear your thoughts then, guys.
Ako ba? Who's next?
Sige, Tristan, ikaw naman.
Sige, kami, Tristan.
Ako naman, ako really like, I think, parang they stumbled, si Eric Mati and Michiko, they stumbled upon a parang gold mine na, kasi you can really develop a cinematic universe out of this. And not cinematic universe by way of Marvel. I'm thinking like Fargo, like pang anthology series na the themes are very rife to explore. For example, all you need to do is use the themes of, I keep citing examples, pero you know the way they do Fargo and True Detective, na parang very thin ang connection of each season. Pero you have the repeating themes of for this one. You can talk about the inmates the inmates were being used as prisoners. You have protagonists who are morally dubious, morally protagonists pa on both sides. Kasi you have the one na parang the lead, and then you have someone representing the crime circle, pero both are parang working halfway. Napansin niyo ba na even sa first film, it's like that's the way that they're doing things right now. It's like parang feeling ko tuloy ang nangyari. They sat down sa writer's room, and then what are the elements of on the job that make it stand out? So just to reiterate myself, nandiyan yung prisoners who are hired killers. You have protagonists both ends who are slowly moving halfway, parang meeting halfway, na parang they're both compromising their morals. You have the parang intricate web of conspiracy. You also have the politicians who are basically acting as gangsters. So I can really imagine na you can create more stories using the similar elements. Lalo na in the first film, they did something very smart and established na this is not like something na happening in a vacuum, na Manila lang siya. Sa first movie pa lang, they had the foresight to talk about how this is something that basically each prison has its own form.
May branch.
Oo. And at least also in this film, kita mo na that's what I really liked about this this film, kasi it's like they they built on the bones of what they set in the first, and parang expanded it in a way that makes sense. So example, si Pacheco and si Eusebio are political rivals. They're long-time political rivals. Pero like what John Arcilla said in the film, magkaibang hayop lang. Magkaibang hayop lang. So they have their own basically rival ano yun eh, they have their own rival gangs with their rival operations. Pero it still makes sense na parang they're opponents pero they both dip their toes in very morally devoid acts eh. So yun lang talaga. So I really have to give props to the team for developing this world. Na in a way, alam ko it's basically the real world. Pero you can there's enough thematic connection to build this into a franchise talaga eh. So yun.
Yeah.
Sorry, di ko na share yung thoughts ko. yung actual thoughts ko. So parang if I were to judge it, parang there are parts of On the Job 2 na I would say are even better than the first one. So minsan if you ask me to say which is better, it's hard to compare din kasi yung nga eh, the other one the one is the first one, it's a very edge of your seat thriller. Ito mas political, mas conspiracy story siya na I would even say as a journalist, ano rin siya eh, parang journalism film rin siya eh.
Yes.
Actually.
Actually.
'Di ba? So ano eh, so they've done something really good na that can stand alongside the first film. Ang gripe ko lang talaga yung yung mga stylistic flourishes which like Princess mentioned na hindi ko talaga gusto yung mga 24 style side by side and and yung mga animated montages na parang alam ko we're trying to do something grounded here. So parang nare-remove ako from yung headspace ko when they do those things. Parang ang dami masyado.
Ayun. Jim, ikaw, your thoughts on The Job 2.
With On the Job 1 kasi yung nakita natin is broad or malawak yung scope eh, 'di ba, ng diniscuss. Dito naman with On the Job 2, surprisingly, which is really happening, 'di ba, na kahit sa small town, there's still corruption, 'di ba? Talagang nature ng human yung corruption, not only in politics. And it may sound cliche pero yun nga nasabi ko na On the Job 2 is yung mga words to describe yung series/film, gripping, compelling, talagang tawag dito, nasabi ko na about On the Job 2. Gripping, compelling, timely and relevant. Kahit mga cliche yung mga words na yan. And ang maganda dito sa On the Job 2 kasi 'di ba we have that notion na kapag sequel ay pangit. 'Di ba? Parang hindi na siya mag-hold up dun sa sa first one. Although dito kasi hindi na sila may connection pa din but it's a different different world na because it's a small town, no. So deserving si John Arcilla dito for Ball Pickup because ang gusto ko dito yung conviction ng character niya, 'di ba? From blindedly idolizing a politician, then waking up, 'di ba, na mayroon siyang na-discover ganyan. And kung mayroon nga lang Screen Actors Guild Awards dito sa Philippines, pwede makuha ng On the Job, 'di ba? Kasi magaling yung mga ensemble actors, no? From John Arcilla, Dante Rivero, magaling, 'di ba? Lot De Leon.
Rivero, who would have thought, no? Like ano ba to? Ano siya? Back from retirement? Or is he ba? Still acting hanggang ngayon? Parang ngayon ko na siya nakita ulit after so many years.
Ang huli ko nakita sa kanya yung Rainbow Sunset eh.
Nga, no?
Diba? Rainbow ba? Or yung kung paano hinihintay ang Dapit Hapon? Di ba kung paano hinihintay ang Dapit Hapon?
Kung paano hinihintay was 2016?
18
pala yun. Okay.
Yeah.
So, So, yun yung latest niya.
Dapit Hapon. Kung paano hinihintay ang Dapit Hapon. Di ba yung mga role niya dati, mga father, mga loving father,
Lolo,
mga
lover.
Tapos biglang, oh my gosh, ang galing niya dito. Magaling
Menacing pa rin
siya.
siya, no?
Mm.
Old man
Totoo.
energy.
Gusto ko yung nanggigigil siya.
Oo.
Sa, yung
Mm-mm.
gigil niya, parang at one point, mukha siyang healthy. Tapos parang may isang scene na parang siyang nagde-deteriorate. Yeah, in your eyes, nagde-deteriorate siya kasi
Nagiging
nasa-stress siya dun sa isang
sa nangyayari.
character. Tsaka, oo.
Hintay ko magano
Parang,
eh. Hinihintay ko magano eh. Putang, na. Pero
wala
wala.
siyang control. Gano'n.
Ayan na.
Putang ina to,
Oo.
Hinihintay ko
For
pero wala.
deserve. Correct. Alam mo yun yung maganda dun eh. Kasi may power siya in a way na hindi niya sinasabi yung mura, no? Pero kita mo sa mata niya na, yun yung nakakatakot eh, na parang shit, minumura na niya ata niya ako. Galing niya.
Si Suleiman Cruz, magagaling. Wala kang masabi. Pero ang noticeable dito, ang nose, prosthetics ng nose ni di ba? Ni Dennis Trillo.
Yun hindi ko gets. Parang, was it needed?
Alam mo, yung theory ko dyan, marami siguro nagreklamo kay Gerald Anderson sa OTJ1. Meron bang presong ganitong agwapo? So,
feeling ko din may pagka...
pinangitan talaga nila si...
Yung naging dating niya, para siyang hunchback type. Alam mo
yun? Quasimodo? Ano yung kampanerang uba?
Oo, hindi kasi parang, siya mukha siyang tuso, pero sa totoo lang, siya yung weakling sa kanilang lahat as a character. Hindi niya kaya mag-decide for himself.
Are you moving to spoilers ba? Or general muna?
Hindi, general naman yun. General.
Okay.
Yun yung observation.
Parang yung sa 300, yung pangit na Spartan.
Diba? That's another point.
Sama naman niya. Hindi naman gano'ng kapangit. I mean, sino ba mga kasama niya doon? Si Vandolph, di naman.
Pero subtle, feeling ko it could have been subtler. Like, subtler na pinapangit. Actually, okay yung pangit ng ipin eh. Sa totoo lang eh.
Actually.
Para feeling ko,
overbite.
The combo of bad mullet, broken nose, at saka pangit ang ipin, naging caricature-ish. Pero para siguro if you could gone with two na lang, siguro the bad haircut and the bad teeth.
Yun nga, yun, kaya may theory ako na tipong, ganun, ayaw nyo ng gwapo sa kulungan, eto nanggigigil habang bigyan nyo ng prosthetic yan. Baliko ang ilong, di ba? Ganun.
To continue, superb yung screenplay, exceptional lang soundtrack, ng On the Job 2, ganyan. Top notch din yung editing, di ba? Ganun. So, yun.
To what you said, Jim, pala, na parang, again, I go back to like the thematic similarities of the first and second, na parang what are the themes of On the Job. I think yung parang characters going through a crisis of faith, that's something that they establish na On the Job must have that. So parang to see na John Arcilla, kasi in the first, you have both, you have Piolo going through that, and in a way, na rin, the other characters, pero mainly through Piolo, and then this one we see both characters. I think that's what colored John Arcilla's performance eh. Kasi to see him parang basically find the journalist in him again. Yun yung so parang sa simula talaga sobrang shady character niya eh.
Yes.
Diba arguing for the journalist for their outlet to apologize. And then from that to move to someone that you can root for in the span of the 4 episodes. I think that's what made John, not John Tawasila, si John Arcilla, bag the prize. Yung na yun, yung pag-navigate through that character arc.
O nga, kasi isipin mo, with Piolo Pascual in On the Job, there's, may conscience yung character niya, di ba? Pero alam mong outright, mayroon siyang parang ina-advocate. Ito kasi si John Arcilla, at first, shady nga, di ba? And then suddenly, ang galing ng shift di ba?
And yung we know so many characters in real life na parang tayo ba, would we believe if like this character, this real world journalist with a show sa,
Mm.
sa radyo.
Okay.
Biglang
There.
switch sides. Parang ako rin, I
Mhm.
wouldn't be parang if one of the staunchest supporters suddenly suddenly would suddenly turn coat. Parang ako rin hindi ako makapapaniwala eh.
Mm.
Ayun.
Ayun.
So, given that, let's move on to the last section of this episode. Let's go into full spoiler territory. No? So, if you haven't finished the series, balikan nyo na lang to later. Please come back to it later. Or if you have watched the series, then welcome. Or if you haven't watched the series but still want to listen anyway, it's up to you.
Mhm.
So yun, spoiler alert, blah blah blah. So let's begin. No? Yun. Yung pinaka the part where gusto ko yung ending niya for the first.
Yes.
Gusto ko yung ending is a
Mm.
pero kung tutusin, yun yung pinaka-fantasy ending. Kasi usually, di ba, these things don't
Oo.
end very well in
Mhm.
real life. Pero it sets itself up for a sequel
Si
na
E.T.
parang
Kuso.
pagtutuos ng lahat.
I wanna go.
Ang ganda eh. Parang oo nga naman. And then, may part doon na tipong kasi nandun on the scene, well, let's just spoil the whole shebang. No? Parang John Arcilla is on the run. He's being chased down by yung mga tauhan ni Dante Rivero after niya ibulgar sa FB Live yung mga kabalistugan ni Mayor.
The power of social media.
Actually, ganda nun I mean, I like how finactor nila yung disinformation and yung with the Ministry of Truth and finactor in nila yung FB Live sa story na to. Kasi yung it became even more timely because of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yun nga, his plan is great kasi, well, his plan is kind of great kasi parang mas mahirap i-disprove yun by
Hindi na parang recording.
Yeah, by having the person say it outright, no? Kumpara sa yung kasi din natin sa mga ang issue din kasi sa mga Pilipino, pati sa ngayon, sa buhay natin ngayon is nasa lantaran na minsan na nasa harap yung mga nangyayari sa atin. Pero meron sa atin na hindi nila pinapansin yon. Parang keps lang. Parang wala sa
parang
atin.
naging apathetic na or apathy.
Yeah.
Katulad na nabanggit before
Either
natin sa
sobrang na-desensitize na sila to everything that's happening, that parang background noise na lang siya. Or yun nga, ayaw nilang parang they parang consciously choose na hindi namin ito pakikinggan dahil hindi to katugma ng worldview namin.
Siya parang right now kasi no amount of scandal, I mean the blatant disregard for our laws and like the basic the basic expectations of public officials, it's thrown out of the window na parang right now even parang kumbaga no scandal can shake a person out of yung position niya.
Yeah, tingnan mo nga yung last year yung meron tayong mga people in positions of power na nag-violate ng COVID protocol, pero walang accountability at all. May investigation pero it's all for show. Walang naparusahan doon. So yun eh. Ang hirap magkapake minsan pag nakikita mong wala namang ginagawa either way sa mga ganon. Nakakagalit siya. Ewan ko lang sa mga ibang tao, di ba? Pero
di ba kanina na-point out natin yung regarding sa FB Live? Kasi di ba with the character of Christopher De Leon, which is nahirapan silang i-prove because recorded lang, di ba? And then meron pang ang eksena na sa CCTV and it's ambiguous. Ganun. Unlike kasi nung ginawa ni John Arcilla na FB Live, na talagang talagang papaniwalaan ng tao kasi hard evidence.
Oo.
Actually,
diba?
gusto i-bring up yung scene na yun kasi again, like what you mentioned naman, it's quite unclear what happened. Pero like in my interpretation, since we're going into spoilers naman, there's a scene, I think ito yung parang ito yung parang culmination of everything and again, spoiler territory na to. What happens is they find out na the person backing kasi di ba si Christopher De Leon dies kasi kaya siya naging part of the missing eight kasi he was holding valuable information. So parang they find out na the person backing him ay was the main villain of the first film, si Pacheco. So parang
Yes.
again nga, since they're political rivals, biglang he was the one who's backing na itong expose against the Eusebius. Now, when we go into murky territory where we say parang hindi nga clear, they meet in a hotel and then dun nga makikita na when they meet, makikita rin nila si Wendell Ramos, who's the son
Mm.
of Dante Rivera's character, who has parang high political aspirations, parang
Mm.
is a closeted, ano pala, gay man who is meeting guys sa hotel. So, it was unclear, pero ako, ang interpretation ko doon was, ang binigay na info ni Pacheco to take down the Eusebius ay itong closeted life ni Wendell.
Wendell.
And
Then,
what I like about that, if I said the story beat was unclear, pero given that interpretation of mine, what I would like about that is that it speaks to the performative nature of our politics, na the scandal itself is not a political scandal but a chismis scandal. Kumbaga,
mm.
gets mo ba, like parang kasi it's been established na having a hired ano ba tawag dito, a hired cadre of killers is not enough to remove a person from his position. Pero the mere thought of a macho politician having a gay son, yun ang pwedeng ikatalo niya sa election. So this speaks lang of the nature of Philippine politics, as well as yung parang pagka basically showbiz ng elections natin, kasi they even show that sa film, di ba, na ang campaigning ay may mga EB babes at kung anong sex bomb
Yes.
dancers. Kasi lang
Mm.
parang I liked it on multiple fronts, like how it ties back, how it answers to what was set in the first film, etc. Again, it wasn't the clearest of scenes, pero if I were lang to pull it apart, feeling ko yun yung that's what it was trying to do, and yung nga I found it insightful.
Yun nga. Oo nga.
Mm.
And
Speak of the performative, yun lang, nature of our politics. Go.
yung very circus-like no? Parang maghanap ka lang talaga ng ang ano diyan is maghahanap ka lang ng kahit na anong dumi. And
Yes.
yung isang aspect din diyan is gumagana yung makinarya ng propaganda machine mo. A good example of this is nung unang na ano yung Missing 8, nung unang lumabas in the spotlight yung Missing 8. Siniraan sila na, oy, ito, prostitute to, ito, meron siyang kabit. Pero doon nagko-question si John Arcilla Doon una nag-break yung ano niya from his masters, no?
Manong, kilala ko tong mga to.
Parang hindi to magkakajowa sa tomboy to, ganon.
Yes. Spreading fake news. Yun
Misinformation, no?
Misinformation eh.
And
To discredit them na parang they had it coming to them, di ba?
Oo.
Parang
tawag dito, and na-augment pa yon nung usage ni Eric Mati ng these parang montage ba ang writer. Basta yung mga scenes na there are like people, texting, tas there's this flood of information. Or of
may graphics something.
Oo, na tipong there is so much shit ngayon sa internet na hindi mo, ang hirap i-parse kung ano yung totoo, ano yung hindi.
Yun yung kumbaga diversion, 'di ba? Na instead na go to the major issue pero dinadivert para hindi makuha or tawag dito kumbaga hindi naisipin ng tao yung talagang major issue.
Kumbaga
parang katulad ngayon pandemic, 'di ba? Oh my gosh.
in terms of dystopian societies, hindi to parang yung kay Orwell na very controlled propaganda. This is more like Aldous Huxley.
Yes, Living World.
Na tipong sobrang pinuno mo ng inanities ang
and distractions, diba?
Na hindi na nila, either they don't know or they don't care.
Yes.
what happens.
Mm-mm.
So yun sobrang parang this is happening right now, and it's bolstered din by the presence of social media.
Yes.
Yung of course yung tendency tayong mga Pilipino talaga, we were very vulnerable to yung meron kang grupo tas you will stick to that group kasi may pagka-tribal tayo talaga. We're very parang
hindi naman talaga politics natin, like even sa okay, I will vote for him kasi Bisaya yan ganun. Or Ilocano ako kaya pro ano ako.
And
actually, nag-uusapan pala tayo, Tristan, di ba kanina, yung nabanggit mo. Sorry, John. Regarding yung kay Agot Isidro, although I agree as well na parang underutilized siya. Pero ang ganda sana because, di ba ganyan sa mga politicians, yung naghahanapan sila ng dumi. And then, yung pala, may issue naman pala talaga tong si Agot Isidro kasi yung father niya, if I recall correctly, no, naging nag-took part in the martial law, 'di ba? So parang ano nangyari about it, and then bakit nagaano ka parang ina-advocate mo masyado itong missing 8, 'di ba?
Double speak It's really double speak. Since we're talking about Orwellian and Huxleyan. Meron ba gano'n Huxleyan?
Huxleyan.
Terms
ayun. So, and lalo na yung present yung nangyayari ngayon. Parang na-perfect nila yung double speak yung they're doing one thing while saying another, or they try to deflect by anger. Parang may bluster na parang pag na-booking ka, magalit ka na lang para matakpan yung pagka-booking sa'yo. Ganyan. Mga ganyan. And it's very interesting din na yung political rivals ng mga Eusebio sa town, yung mga Vicente, kung tutusin, they're not yung like the patriarch of the family, si Carlos Seguin Reyna.
Yes.
Akala mo they're this goody two shoes na politician, but they're not so different from the Eusebios. If you watch the series closely, yung kaya napunta sa good graces ni Eusebio si John Arcilla is dahil binulgar niya yung corruption ng mga Vicente. And that's what enabled him to rise to power.
Another point doon dyan, di ba kasi yung pinaka star witness ba tawag doon, yung sa nag-operate ng bulldozer ba yun, he was not talaga really protected. Kaya di ba nung, spoiler alert na tayo dito, napatay siya, di ba?
Yeah, siya yung nga may ano rin siya It's like, in a way, it's like you see how the elites basically treat people as expendable. And the way they talk about it, sige, let's give them this one, let's give them this win. Na parang, sige, gusto nila, we want them to think na may progress sila against us. Sige, let them kill that person. Kasi di ba, nakita natin na parang alam naman nila na may pupunta doon to hurt them. Pag for them, ano ba to, loss ba natin to? Hindi, okay lang, sige, let's give them this one para we can re-strategize. And when you're gambling with human lives, parang wala lang pero those were human lives na they were they were basically moving as pieces on the board
Yeah, and yung power yung tendency natin mang power trip it trickles down from the top to the middlemen. Yung middlemen natin, mga law enforcement people. Particularly yung the side plot with yung kay Timmy Harn tsaka yung si Ina Fileo, di ba? Yung magjowa sila. But then Timmy Harn's character did a very stupid thing by using one of the cell phones ng missing 8. So parang to silence him, the police parang, did him in. And also eliminated din si Ina Fileo in very gruesome fashion. Yung in particular, yung ang ganda ng parang ni Ketchup Eusebio as yung si Ketchup. Si Ketchup ba yun? Si Ketchup ba yun? Hindi,
sino doon?
Hindi si Ketchup. Yung
kalbo? Hindi.
Yung basta yung police na parang handler nila.
Lau Rodriguez?
Ayun, si Lau Rodriguez. Ketchup Eusebio. Hindi pala si Ketchup, yun.
Kasama ba siya sa political dynasty ng Eusebios?
Pero yan abusive leaders may kultura na pumapasok dyan na hindi lang limited to them. Basta if you're lower in the hierarchy, you will be treated like para kang basura basically na kung kailangan itatapon ka.
Saka 'di ba ini-insult din nung character ni Lau Rodriguez kasi may pagka-illiterate 'di ba yung characters ni na Vandolph and and Dennis Trillo, 'di ba? Kaya parang yun yung din nag-trigger kay Vandolph to kill.
Actually.
'Di ba?
May parang moment of confusion na you don't know if si Vandolph will hurt Dennis Trillo for
killing the guy
for killing their handler, pero kita mo siya rin.
Kasi if he treated yung mga asset niya better, hindi niya mamamatay.
Actually, may callback nga dun kasi even sa dulo, lagi may moment of confusion if si Vandolph is
one thing or another. It's very
parang is friends with Dennis. Di ba? Kasi parang doon sa scene na yun, nakita mo kumampi siya kay Dennis. Sa dulo, siya ang last na binaril ni Dennis. Di ba? Kasi parang tiyatanong siya pa niya if si Vandolph will help him or hindi. Nung nakita yung si Vandolph raise the gun at him na rin.
Parang din, 'di ba? Well, parang with what happened din with Tatang or Joel Torre's character in Gerald Anderson, 'di ba? Ganun ni. 'Di ba na parang wait. Pwedeng ako ang patayin niya. 'Di ba? Ganun ang mangyayari kung go ahead, Chris.
Go, tuloy mo.
Kasi pwedeng ang mangyari sooner or later akong papatayin niya kasi ako na magiging target. Ganun Ganun ang mangyayari.
Doon kasi parang feeling ko ang difference doon. It's like the Tatang and pangalan ni Gerald na character. They were parang clearer yung affection for one another na parang okay mag-ama. Ito kasi parang uneasy allies Na parang yes, may moments sila of bonding. Kita mo may mga days na nag-uusap lang sila, nagkakwentuhan. Parang so habang buhay ka na nandito. Di okay, para magkasama tayo, ganyan. Pero parang yung nga, it's an uneasy alliance kasi they don't really know each other pero parang sila brothers at war lang. So I like that dynamic na every action hindi mo alam if kakampi mo o hindi. Pero may camaraderie pa rin.
Yes.
Ayun. So
nawala si Ces.
Nawala si Ces. Si Ces ay may technical issues.
The missing
regards na lang daw.
The missing one episode.
The missing one. Where is the missing one? Pero ang ganda ng yun. Ang ganda ng character arc ni John Arcilla and yung mga characters surrounding him din, si Lotlot de Leon.
Yes.
Yung aktivista, journalist nila. And sino pa ba?
Ayun. Okay rin si Isabel de Leon,
Kasi Andrea Brillantes.
Yes, even Andrea.
Yung, I guess, minimal gripe, pero not regarding them. Nung dapat inisip na ng character ni John Arcilla na hahuntingin siya after parang dapat naitakas na niya yung mga anak niya. Hindi yung tipong...
Hindi. Ang nangyari kasi dyan, if you notice dun sa preceding scene, pinapatakas na sila, nagpa-plan na sila pero ayaw iwanan ng dalawang anak si John Arcilla. Kaya ganun yung nangyari.
Kasi naman
Sa dulo naman, iniwan na rin. Alam
mo,
pwede...
Oo.
Ang pwede naman doon, okay, may exit plan sila. Pero again, these are minor gripes kasi let's just set it clear na as a whole, we love this work. Pero of course, there's still room to nitpick. And parang
yun lang.
So parang pero kasi aminin natin from a storytelling perspective, it adds to the tension.
Yes.
Diba?
Actually.
So nandun yung mga ngarag factor nila Isabel de Leon and Andrea Belirandes. Pero like if you talk about reality, pwede mo naman hindi naman pwede okay lang naman na hindi sa bahay mo. Iwan mo sa bahay ni Lotlot.
Actually nga pwede mangyari puntiryahin na agad yung dalawang babae. 'Di ba? Hindi yung si John Arcilla agad.
Natatakot ako kasi baka maina Fileo yung dalawang bata.
Diba?
Yun yung inaalala ko. Parang Eric Mati, are you this ganito ka ba? Ano magagawin mo? Pero thankfully, they got out. Hopefully, they got out. Pero yun, sobrang parang yeah, I like the performances ng dalawa. Isabel, this is their best siguro.
No Bonus 5.
So far, this is their best performances so far sa film. No?
Kasi si Andrea Berlianski kilala ko lang as Marga, di ba? Yung kadenang yun.
Si Isabel De Leon, she had a movie sa Cine Filipino a while back na hindi ko masyadong nagustuhan. Pero other than that, yeah, I think they're both very promising actresses. Tsaka bata pa sila dito, no? I think this was a film a while back eh. So,
ngayon si Andrea Berlianski to may TikTok dance.
I'm very interested to see how they will continue this if they have the opportunity, no?
Yeah, I would really go na The Wire style or Fargo, even far more removed na focus on another aspect and then maybe have some other characters pop up.
In the
like si Acosta.
Yeah.
Si Tatang again. Gusto mo si Tatang.
I read an interview in Variety that said if they get the opportunity to make On the Job 3, they will include people from the previous two movies. No? And
so,
also,
who do you select? Sino pipiliin mo na?
Well, for one, si Joel Torre, babalik ko yan. For some, si Agot Isidro's character, baka meron siyang arc din dyan. And of course, yung parang, hindi pa natin nakikita yung presidente, di ba?
Yes.
So, it would be interesting to see yung presidente.
Ibabalik din ba si Vivian Velez? Kasi di ba siya yung ni Tatang?
Ewan ko lang considering Vivian Velez. Ewan ko lang.
May dalawa na tayong presidential stand-in eh. Oops.
Oops. Well, yun. Given the events of the film, baka hindi na maging presidente itong baka hindi na maging mayor itong si Eusebio. Ewan ko lang. Or baka maging mayor pa rin siya.
Hindi na mayor tiyatakbo, di ba? Ay, hindi. Si Eusebio, the younger pala siya.
Si Wendell?
Si Wendell, yung vice.
Pero let's see. Never know. And
ako, I wanna see, sorry.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yung isang, din, I think the same interview said na when they were thinking of concepts for On the Job 2, they were considering attacks on journalists, corruption in the healthcare industry, and other topics. So baka given na COVID-19, di ba? Baka healthcare yung susunod.
Mala Edward ba yan?
Mga Edward but worse yung pari.
Gusto makita anong name gagawin nila na parang William Ho. Ano kayang next? Ano kayang next? Obvious reference.
Sinong gaganap? Yan.
Secretary Rique.
Harriet Rique. Anyway. Yun. Guess just to wrap this up, any final thoughts about On the Job 2, The Missing 8 that you'd like to share?
Ako, basta for me, it was really halata na like what says Our Missing 1 mentioned na
Our Missing 1
na matagal lang inupuan to. So I think the work speaks of that effort.
Yeah.
And you really see how intricately it was plotted. I think most political thrillers which I like, political crime conspiracy thrillers are those that are intricately plotted, and you appreciate the effort put into that. So I think this one they did it right. So if ever they do On the Job 3, I hope that they put ayoko na it would fall dun sa trilogy curse na the third film is often the worst. So if it would take another, I don't know how many years, okay lang sa akin para ma-develop nila.
True.
And then, ayun, parang siguro ako kay Eric Mati, I think our previous episodes, I already shared my sentiments sa parang feel ko slowly he lost me na. Like after Honor Thy Father, progressively, hindi ko nagustuhan yung mga next films niya. Pero like,
shaky ng choices eh.
If we're talking about crime thrillers, para to quote The Godfather 3, parang when it comes to Eric Mati's work, just when I thought I was out, he pulls me back in.
So yun, ako On the Job 2, On the Job in general, no, it's parang tama yung lumalabas na it's based on a true story. Yung storya ni Tatang was based on a driver yata na that's the story he shared. And of course, medyo obvious naman yung parallels ng real life events on the job too. Just look around, look at recent events or not so recent events din.
Ano kaya next crisis of faith na ipapakita nila?
Hindi ko lang alam.
Mukhang healthcare na talaga yan.
Healthcare.
Dapat
Health Secretary Dukakis.
Dukakis.
Olivia Dukakis.
Pero sana naman kung healthcare, hindi na siya mga medical drama natin na nagiging melodrama. Talagang, I hope kapag nagkaroon ng on-the-job 3 is yung talagang makikita natin may politics, tapos talaga yung issues ng...
Nakalagay sa ilong kung ano, yung tubo.
Gusto ko lang mag-segue kasi magsa-segue lang ako as a medical professional. Nafe-feel ko yan kasi sobrang I've seen medical dramas from other countries. Japan, Korea. May hook talaga sila and they're very particular about the medical science. Na sana may ganun tayo. Gusto kong mag-develop ng ganun. I mean, I have a few good ideas. So, hit me up.
So, ikaw ba yung next inspiration?
Direct Eric, pag kailangan mo daw ng consultation.
Kaya medical consultant nandito po.
Yung mga creative aspects. Ayan, nandyan si John.
Dr.
Tatsagain po namin yan.
Tawilis.
James Tawilis.
Yun ang next protagonist.
Pati po ako mag-cameo. Ganun.
Yes!
Whistleblower na doctor. Ganun. Tapos ililibing ako or something. Ang ganda yun, ililibing yung parang pinapatay ako tapos may parang healthcare workers are heroes. Tapos parang pinapatay nila ako.
Grabe.
Why, Delilah?
May wish pala.
Dr. James
may sina ako sa OTJ.
Pinas lang.
Galing. Pero ano nga ulit yan? Sige Jim, may gusto ka pa pang sabihin? Or?
I believe ang OTJ2, The Missing, is one of the year's bests. Ganun. Kasi so far, aminado this year, parang yung mga napapanood.
Puro Viva Max ngayon eh. Although not to dunk on Viva Max. I mean, marami naman silang okay na output.
Pero I think for what it's worth, kailangan mo i-give credit to Viva Max for giving people something pa rin. I mean, it's not the best in terms of quality, pero
they've done some good films. So.
And people are entertained sa sa dami papalabas nila amid sa pandemic.
And to be fair, medyo good yung business model nila, yung streaming model nila compared to the other competitors.
Yes, actually.
Sila yung pinaka nag-work na streaming service, local streaming service.
Yeah, it's good, it's accessible, easy to use, maraming content na na original to that platform only. Kung gusto mo mag-KTEX, that's fine. I mean, it's also good. But why KTEX if you have Viva Max?
A bit pricey din si KTEX, di ba?
Pero I still use KTEX. Yay. Please
sponsor
us. Please sponsor us.
Or Viva Max, please sponsor us sa Viva Max.
Viva Max, please sponsor us. Charot.
Gagawa kami ng episode sa Paraluman. Or ako
kahit 69 plus 1, go. Yung episode doon, go. The most prolific director of 2021, go.
In fairness. Nagiging showbiz na tayo.
Nagiging showbiz tayo. Diba, pero totoo, that output is insane, di ba? I've never seen a director output more than 4 films in a year. Ito 7.
Endurance.
Anong stamina yan? Umiinom ba yan? Naka-IV ba ng Monster Energy drink yan, di ba? Ano ba yun?
To be fair, I mean, regardless of the quality, nakakapagod yun. 7 films yun.
7 films.
September pa lang.
Quality notwithstanding. There are some decent ones. I fully admit there's some decent ones. There's some not so decent ones, but still, those are 7 films. So, undeniably, may something naman. May something naman. Kudos sa Viva Max and nauukulan. Way to go. Padala pa kayo ng card.
Baka compliment eh.
Sama, hindi na na-blacklist na tayo. Pero yun, on the job too, Watch it. It's on HBO Go. 6 episodes.
Mhm.
You won't regret it.
Worth
And
it.
I agree with Jim. Well, given a very thin, parang very sparsely populated field, no, it's relatively one of the better films I've seen this year.
Mhm.
Which is not to say much, but still, it's something.
Mhm.
And it's very
Sana pala
timely.
ginawang series na lang yung ano, no? Yung, ano yung
Yung
ano? Ano yung kay Raya? Na serial killer.
yung
Alam
ano,
mo,
Smaller in circle. So,
Sana ginawa,
it
sana
might
ginawang
have worked
series na lang.
better as a series. There are a lot
totoo
of Filipino
dyan.
films
Yeah.
that might have worked. Yung Agag nga mukhang okay yun as a
Oo.
series I'm
Release the
getting-
Mati Cut of Agag.
Yeah.
Release,
Labas yun sa Viva Max. Kikita yan.
release the Agag Cut.
Release the Matic.
The Mati.
Tanong natin, Tristan, pag nakuha natin si Direk. Yan. We might be
Mm.
talking to Direk in a few.
Mhm.
Ayaw
In a
simula ng
few-
ano.
Mhm.
Ayusin.
Jan Arcilla,
Yan. Paplansyahin muna na.
come here. Come here.
Come
Come here.
Mortal Kombat. sa Scorpion.
Come here.
Come here.
Get over here. Inutusan yung ball pickup winner.
Dear Venice, please send John Arcilla here. Third World Cinema Club. Inutusan.
Come here. Inutusan.
Come over here. may kotse, pinasusundo ka na ni boss.
Yeah.
Tapos tayo lang pala. Ayan.
Oo nga pala, I want to thank Sir Chuck
Sponsors.
Gutierrez and Baby Ruth Villarama for the mic. Sponsor ng mic.
Sir Chuck, one of the
Oo,
missing eight.
one of the missing 8.
Nabuhay
Gulat
na
ako.
pala. Hindi pala sila pinatay. Nasa ibang banda, sa ano lang.
Busy siya shoot
Gumagawa
lang.
ng documentaries.
Yes.
Busy siya shoot.
Busy sa
Busy.
shoot. Ayun. Friends of the pod, thank you.
Yes.
If you like to donate to us, charot. Okay lang naman. We're a non-profit organization, but
Yes.
yan. Passion project talaga to between the all of us.
Mm-mm.
And ayun,
And-
with yun lang, no? With that said, thank you everyone for listening and
yes.
see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Stay safe,
Yeah.
guys.